The first issue with enlightenment is you can't attain what you already are. The second issue being other people telling you that enlightenment is an impossible endeavour. The third being believing the first two are problems. So if you can get your head around the third, you'll be enlightened. And what I mean by this is, I've mentioned in a previous video about manifestation, is when you're not manifesting, it is a blockage within the subconscious that doesn't believe that you are worthy or what you're trying to manifest can be done. Known as a letting go technique, as it requires subtraction as opposed to addition, and this gets even more prevalent the higher up the scale that we get. So at the lower ends of the scale, your anger, your apathy, anxieties, and courage, they are quite easy enough to explain, as is acceptance. It gets harder when we get to the level of love and above. So the entry point of love I'll describe as gratitude. Most of us can find 10 things daily that we're grateful for quite easily. Some will struggle, but most of us can find 10 things. The midway point, it gets tougher. The midway point I describe as forgiveness. We struggle to forgive others of past slights, and more so we struggle to forgive ourselves and have self-compassion. And this is all due to a blockage in the subconscious that we need to let go of, that we need to subtract. And the highest level of this is the unconditional, which I describe as the entry point to peace. The unconditional is, I can be just as content of drinking this cup of tea as I could be watching the sunset in Thailand. So peace, true peace, the unconditional, is gratitude on steroids. It's gratitude as the default state, the subconscious completely cleared of all blockages. We're conditioned to think we've got to have things to be a certain way before we can reach peace. But true peace comes from a subtraction, a radical subtraction of how you think things ought to be, or how things should be. And from this state, you are now knocking on the door of enlightenment, because enlightenment is the desireless state. And that's all there is to it. Our minds are conditioned to overvalue the complex and the complicated, but enlightenment is the desireless state. Sometimes we can get the random, peculiar, red-hot day in February where there's no clouds in the sky, and it's unexplainable. Such as enlightenment can just click like that. Sometimes it takes a lot of cloudy days to get to June, to get to summer, to get to the blue skies. What I'm saying here is it can take sometimes a lot of intense work before we realise the simple, that enlightenment is the desireless state. If you was to read one book, you could read I Am That. And you could get there within the first few pages, or maybe it takes you 10, or maybe it takes you the full book, but that will get you to enlightenment very quick, given that the subconscious is unblocked enough. The book alone can unblock the subconscious very well. But enlightenment is the desireless state. And I'll leave you with that.